Today, let's get back to some fundamental technique on the electric bass. I can't impress upon you how important it is to practice technique. I know that many players just sort of pick up the bass and jam away. Some people play well, some play great, some people don't play so well. But I know that a tried and true technique methodology for becoming a good player is to work on fundamental technique. Basically, master the control of this instrument. I often say to students, if you learn your instrument, master the thing, music will be a lot easier. If you want to reach the higher levels of music making, of performance, quality, sound, and clean technique and great execution, you're going to need to practice fundamental technique on a regular basis. I found the biggest challenge is that most students don't know what to do. When you say things like, are you working on your scales or arpeggios, or you hear that a lot, you need to work on your scales or arpeggios, people go, yeah, but they don't know what to do. I've been working with a little program for many years using what I call the cycle of fourths. We simply use the root motion for practicing scales, arpeggios, various licks in all styles. In some of the previous lessons, I've shown you just simply using the major scale up and down the cycle around the bass. Today I'm going to show you a couple of patterns. We'll use just the major scale. And again, let me review real quickly. We'll use the cycle of fourths. We'll start every scale on the A string. We'll play one finger per fret. That just makes good logical sense. And we'll play no open strings. So here's the C. Then we go up to F. And we go up to B flat. We can't really play that B flat here because we have open strings. B flat, then to E flat. And back to C. Now the pattern I want to show you today is simply one of many I call digital patterns. That's because I use the numbers of the scale degrees to illustrate what they are. This one I call 1, 2, 3, 1. Scale degree 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. That again for you. A little faster. I recommend you alternate in the right hand. One more time. Now I know this is very easy to get it in your ear and to hear it. The trick is to repeat good technique practice so much that it just becomes muscle memory. Then when you actually execute music, you're playing the good technique, which gives you a good clean sound, good tack, an evenness to your sound. I've actually known a number of great musicians who say, if I just play gigs every night, my technique tends to fall down a little bit. I just sort of in the heat of the moment and play into the crowd and excitement, and I just sort of get sloppy. I need to practice technique on a daily basis to keep everything in the right position. It's no different than great athletes. They work on footwork and arm slot and bat angle. They work on the fundamentals of good physical posture so that in the heat of the game, in the heat of the music when it's on, things just work properly. One more time. I'll repeat it a couple of times in a row here, and you can play with me. Up a fourth. Now I'm going to play it completely around the cycle one time with a play along track. And I encourage you, work on this until you can do it with me and it's as smooth as could be. Let's listen to that track now, or let me find it here and let's play along with it, okay? Here we go. I think I got it now. Back to C. We'll stop right there. Now in a real practice situation, you'd want to do this for the entire length of the CD, which is about 5.5 minutes long. There's so many things that happen when you will play consistently for a length of time with a very specific technique, in your mind and you're working on, and with your right and left hand both. You develop stamina, of course. You develop a consistency of sound. You start to be able to hear it. You hear the song, the actual music go by, and you start to play with a more good rhythmic feel. Not just good time, but just more of a fluency in the rhythmic feel. Intonation, obviously. If you're playing a fretless instrument, double bass or fretless electric bass. But it's vital that you work on these things. All good, artists, musicians, entertainers, singers, dancers, and again, like I said, athletes, anyone who's involved in a physical activity, trying to perfect that, it just takes repetition. And as a professional, we need to keep doing that. There's a little saying that says the amateur will play it over and over. He'll practice it until he can get it right. But the professional, he will practice it until he can never get it wrong. That's what we're wanting to do here.